మీరు బాగా
Good afternoon, guys.
Sir, good morning.
Morning, Andy. Okay, guys, we will continue. Remaining people will join in the middle. No problem at all. ఎంత ఇంకా పెట్టేది
లింక్ అంట సార్ లింక్
గ్రూప్ లో పెట్టాగా
పెట్టారు
Okay, guys, yesterday we have briefly seen the architecture of the Hive. Okay, the Hive clients are the Thrift client, JDBC client, and ODBC client. 3 clients will be there, and Hive services are there. VLAN, command prompt, Metastore is there, optimizer, driver, compiler. Like that, we have the Hive services, and below this one we have the MapReduce will be there. MapReduce component of the Hadoop, and below that one we have the HDFS component of the Hadoop will be there. Okay, if you see layer by layer, yeah, first the user interface will be there, Hive clients will be there in the interface. Next, Hive services will be there. Below the clients we have the Hive services, and below that one we have the MapReduce component of the Hadoop. Already we know 2 modules will be there in the Hadoop. One is MapReduce, other one is the HDFS. Okay, below the MapReduce we have the HDFS component, the distributed storage. Okay, generally the data will be in the HDFS, and on the data we have the MapReduce and resource management will be there, where we will perform the processing or analysis of the data. The processing or analysis of the data will be there with the help of the MapReduce jobs, the data on the data which is in the HDFS. Okay, to perform this MapReduce task, now we are using an alternative called the Hive queries, where the client will write query here. Okay, through the help of the services, the query will be passed to the MapReduce, and this MapReduce will perform the processing of the data which is in the HDFS. The overall aim is the client who is in the user interface wants to perform processing of the data which is in the HDFS. The data files are in HDFS. He wants to process the data files, or he wants to analyze the data files which are present in HDFS of the Hadoop. Okay, actual files will be in this HDFS of the Hadoop. Okay, to perform the processing analysis of the files which are in HDFS, we want the MapReduce program. We want the MapReduce programs. Generally, we have 3 options will be there for writing MapReduce programs. One is directly in Java, we will write the MapReduce programs using. Okay, if the people are not familiar in Java, the alternative is PIC script. The people will write the PIC script for MapReduce task. Okay, the first alternative directly Java we have to use. The second one is write the MapReduce programs using the Pig script instead of the Java language. The third one is instead of writing the programs for that one, we will write queries using the Hive language. We will write the queries. Okay, the client will write the queries with the help of the Hive server and Hive services. The query will be converted into the MapReduce task, and the MapReduce task will perform the analysis of the data which is in the HDFS. That is our third alternative we are seeing. First alternative is directly Java program we will write for MapReduce programs. We will write this one. We don't have these two. Directly we will write the MapReduce programs using Java language. The second one is if we are not comfortable to write directly in Java, then the alternative is we will take the Pig language. Using Pig language, we will write the MapReduce program. Okay. The third one alternative is instead of the Pig also we can write instead of programs we will write the queries using the HiveQL, HQL language. We will write the database queries for the data which is in the HDFS. We will write queries. At the Hive clients will write the at the user interface they will write the queries. The queries will be processed with the help of the Hive services. They will be converted into MapReduce tasks, and the MapReduce task will perform the processing of the data which is in this one. That is what is actually happening. ఇప్పుడు క్లాస్ ఉందండి మీకు ఓకే 2 o'clock no problem at all. Now we will see, we have seen the components of the Hive architecture. Now today class we will see the workflow of that components, how the workflow is going on in these components. Today we will see. Okay, now we will see the working of this Hive. Okay, basing on the components which are in the Hive architecture, how the workflow will be there, that we will see in the base class. Briefly we will see step by step the workflow in the Hive. The first step is the execute query. The first step in this one is the in the working workflow of the Hive is the execute query. What is will happen in this step is okay, the user through the user interface, the user will write the query through either the user maybe that through the thrift drivers or through JDBC drivers or ODBC drivers, whatever. Okay, the client will write the query. Okay, through the user interface, the user client will write the query. Then immediately whenever the query has written, the user interface will call the execute interface of the driver. Okay, the user interface will make a call to the execute interface of the driver. Simply it will pass information to the driver. Some query has been written. We have to process that query. First the information from the user interface through the execute interface, it will go to the driver. Okay, through to the thrift driver, the information will be passed. That is the first step of the execute query. Okay, the user interface where we have written the query. For example, if you are using the boolean command prompt, okay, when we write the query in the boolean command prompt, then the information is passed from the boolean command prompt to the driver. The query is ready. You have to process that query. That information will be passed to the driver. Then the second step in the workflow of the Hive is get plan. Then what the driver will do is after receiving information from that, for example, from the boolean command prompt, after receiving information from the boolean command prompt, okay, what the driver will do is it will accept the query which is available in the boolean command prompt. Okay, it will create a session handle. It will create a session handle for the query. Means session means it will get ready for the execution of the query. It will create a session for handling the query and passes the query to the compiler for generating execution plan. Now what the driver will do is after receiving information from the user interface, that is, for example, if you are using the boolean command prompt, if after receiving information from the boolean command prompt, which is the user interface, then the driver will accept the query and the query will be passed to the compiler for generating the execution plan. Okay, to create the execution plan, the information will pass to the compiler. What the compiler will do is, now the compiler will go to the meta store. It will request the meta store to send the metadata. Okay, to process the query, it wants the metadata of the table. So it will communicate with the metastore to get the metadata. For example, in your query, you have written select yes name, comma, yes age, you have written. So you want the student name and student age you want. First, it will check the metadata, whether the columns are available or not. It will cross verify the meta with the metadata, whether you're basing on your query that data is really available or not. That verification will be done with the help of the metadata. So the third step is get metadata. The compiler will request the metastore to send the metadata. Now the compiler, the metastore will send the metadata to the compiler. After requesting in the fourth step, what will happen is the metastore will send back the required metadata to the compiler. These are the first four steps. Execute query. The user interface will pass the information to driver. The driver accepts the query and pass that query to the compiler. The compiler then request send a request to the metastore for asking for getting the metadata. It will get send a request to the metastore. Then in the fourth step, the metastore will give reply to the compiler with metadata, whatever the metadata it was requested. Clear. Now what the compiler will do with this one is, after getting the metadata from the metastore, what the compiler will do is, with the help of the metadata, it will perform type checking and semantic analysis on the expressions in the query. Basing on the metadata, it will perform the syntax and semantic analysis. Simply in our language, what the compiler will do is, with the information get from the compiler, sorry, from the metastore, it will try to perform the syntax and semantic analysis. After verification of the semantic analysis, after performance of the semantic analysis, the computer will generate the execution plan in the form of directed acyclic graph. After performance of the semantic analysis, the compiler will generate the execution plan in the form of the directed acyclic graph. In the form of this one, it will generate the execution plan. I think in the C compiler design, you have briefly seen some idea you have on the direct acyclic graph, how it will look like that. Clear. For map reduced jobs, the plan contains map operator trees and the reduce operator trees. Okay. In case of map reduced jobs, the execution plan will contain the map operator trees which are executed on mapper. Already we know the map reduce contains the two main parts, mapper and the reducer will be there. Okay. So the plan will contain map operator trees. Okay. The trees which are related to the work of mapper, and also reduce operator tree, the trees which are related to the reducer. Okay. I think you have idea in the map reduce phase. We have seen that one. Okay, mapper phase and the reducer phase we have seen. Okay, for that one it will separately generate the trees. The execution plan, which is in the form of DAG, contains map operator trees for mapper, reduce operator trees for reduce. That is the thing. So after the first four steps, it will get ready. The compiler will make ready the execution plan. Overall execution plan will be ready. Clear. User interface will pass the information to the driver. Driver will pass the query to the compiler. Compiler will request the metadata. After receiving metadata, it will generate the execution plan in the form of directed acyclic graph. Now what will happen is, after the plan is ready, the compiler sends the execution plan to the driver. Again, compiler will send back the tag to the driver. This is the execution plan. Now what this one execute plan? Next step, after the driver receives the execution plan, okay, the driver will pass that execution plan to the execution engine to execute that plan. It will send that execution plan to the execution engine. The execution engine will receive the plan from the driver. The compiler, after generating the plan, it will pass the plan to the driver. This is the plan of execution you do. Okay, then the driver will pass that same plan to the execution engine for executing that plan. Clear. Here what will happen here, what the execution engine will do. See, we will see briefly we will see the points for this one. The execution engine then send these stages of that to appropriate components basing on the plan. After taking the plan, basing on the direct acyclic graph, the execution will engine will send the DAG to various appropriate components. Okay. Generally, when we come to the map reduce, we have phases will be there, input splits will be there. Next, mapping will be there. Next, scheduling and sorting will be there. Next, after sorting, we have the reducer will be there. Okay, input splits, mapping splits stage, mapping stage. Next, sorting stage. Next, we have the reduction stage. These stages will be there. So, basing on the DAG, it will send the DAG, the information the DAG will be sent to the appropriate components. If it is related to mapper, it will be sent to the mapper. If it is related to reducer, it will send to the reducer. If it is related to sorting, it will send to the sorter. Like that, it will distribute the DAG. It will distribute the DAG to various components. Okay, for each task, either the mapper or reducer, either the mapper or reducer and the deserializer associated with a table or intermediate output is used in order to read the rows of the HDS file. Okay, after the tasks are distributed to the appropriate components. For every task, basing on the DAG, for every task, either the mapper or reducer and deserializer and the intermediate output, all these things are used to read the rows from the HDS file, to read the HDFS files. Okay, it will use for each task, either a mapper or reducer will be assigned, deserializer will be assigned, and some intermediate output will be given to that one each task. And by using all these things, okay, it will perform reading of the rows from the HDFS file. It will go to the file, it will open the file and it will read the rows from the files. Clear? That is the thing. Okay. After reading that one, after reading the rows from the HDFS files, okay, the rows which are read from the files are passed to the associated operator tree. The rows will be passed to the corresponding operator tree. Generally, here what will happen is first the rows will be passed to the mapper tree. Okay, after mapping is over, the rows will be passed to the reducer tree, where the reducer will reduce the files. Okay, after the rows which are written from the HDFS file are passed to mapper and the reducer. Finally, output gets generated. Okay, the final output will be generated in the form of a temporary file. Okay, by applying serialization. Thus, through the serializer, all the output which are getting after the applying the suitable operator trees will be written into a temporary file in the form of serialized format. I think we have idea on the deserialization. Serialized format means in the form of byte stream format, it will be stored in the temporary files. Clear. So here what will happen is the execution engine will take the DAG and it will distribute the DAG to appropriate components. Okay, and at each component, it will take use of either a mapper or reducer suitable, either mapper or reducer. And it will take the deserialization that and to read the rows from the HDFS files with the help of the mapper or reducer and the deserializer. It will read the data from the HDFS files. It will read rows from the HDFS files. After reading the rows from the HDFS files, the rows will be passed to associated operator trees. We have said two types of operator trees will be there in the execution plan: mapper operator tree, reducer operator tree. Okay. First, the readed rows will be passed to the mapper. From mapper, the result of the mapper will pass to the reducer. After passing the results from mapper to the reducer will generate the final output. Okay, the final output will get generated. That final output will be stored in the temporary file in the serialized format. Okay, through in the form of serialized format. Clear. These temporary HDFS files are used to provide data to the output of the overall execution plan. These temporary files will contain the output of the overall execution plan. Here one point is, if your query is for DML operations. Okay, if your query is for DML operations, What is meant by DML operations in DBMS? Anybody? What is meant by DML operations? మనకి డేటాబేస్ లో ఆర్కిల్ ఎస్క్యూఎల్ లాంగ్వేజ్ లో రెండు ఉన్నాయి, డిడిఎల్ డిఎంఎల్ అని. వాట్ ఈస్ డిడిఎల్, వాట్ ఈస్ డిఎంఎల్? మీకు గుర్తుందే ఉంటుంది, డిబిఎంఎస్ మీరు చదువుంటారు. ఎస్క్యూఎల్ డిడిఎల్ లాంగ్వేజ్, డిఎంఎల్ లాంగ్వేజ్, టీసీఎల్ లాంగ్వేజ్. డిఎంఎల్ ఆపరేషన్స్ అంటే ఏంటండి? For DML operations, the final temporary file is then moved to the table location అన్నారు. In case of DML operations, the final temporary file will be moved to the table location. మన జనరల్ గా TDL operations ఉంటాయి, DML operations ఉంటాయి. What is that DML operation? Data manipulation. Yes, exactly. Data manipulation means modification to the data. DDL అంటే డేటా డెఫినిషన్ లాంగ్వేజ్ ఏం చేస్తుంది, డేటా మ్యానిపులేషన్ లాంగ్వేజ్ ఏం చేస్తుంది. వాట్ దే విల్ డూ, డిఫరెన్స్ ఏంటి, దాంట్లో ఏం జరుగుతుంది, దీంట్లో ఏం జరుగుతుంది. డేటా డెఫినిషన్ లాంగ్వేజ్ కి డేటా మ్యానిపులేషన్ లాంగ్వేజ్ కి డిఫరెన్స్ ఏంటండి అంటే ఏం జరుగుతుంది, డిడిఎల్ కమాండ్స్ వాడితే ఏం జరుగుతుంది, డిఎంఎల్ కమాండ్స్ వాడితే ఏం జరుగుతుంది. వాట్ ఈస్ ద మెయిన్ డిఫరెన్స్? ఎస్ సి డిడిఎల్ లాంగ్వేజ్ టేబుల్ స్ట్రక్చర్ మాడిఫై చేయాలంటే వి విల్ యూజ్ ద డిడిఎల్ లాంగ్వేజ్. డిడిఎల్ ఆపరేషన్స్ ఏమో ఫర్ మాడిఫైయింగ్ ద టేబుల్ స్ట్రక్చర్. Create a table, add a new column, delete an existing column. లోపల డేటాను మాడిఫై చేయాలంటే we use the DML operations or data manipulation. లోపల డేటా manipulation. ఓకే, ఫర్ మ్యానిపులేటింగ్ ద ఇన్నర్ డేటా. లోపల అప్డేట్ చేయాలి, డేటాను అప్డేట్ చేయాలి, లేదా ఒక రో డిలీట్ చేయాలి, ఒక రో యాడ్ చేయాలి. ఓకే, ఒక సెల్ ని నల్ చేయాలి. ఫర్ దోస్ we will use the DML operations. DML operations for manipulating the data, DDL is for modifying the table. In case of when we come to ఇక్కడ మనం చేసేది ఏంటంటే DML operations. We are processing the data in the files. Files లో ఉన్న డేటాను మనం చేస్తున్నాం కాబట్టి here the most of the operations will be the DML operations. Okay. For the DML operations, finally the temporary file which is generated by the execution engine will be moved to the table location. Okay. It will be moved to the table location in the HDFS. Finally, after that the temporary file is moved to the table location, what will happen is the execution engine will receive the resultant file from the data nodes. It will go to the table location in the HDFS. Okay, here data nodes means machines on which the final temporary file is stored. They are called the data nodes. Data node means the nodes, that means the computers. Already we know HDFS is not a single machine, it is a cluster of machines. So the final table will be, the table location will be in some machine. Okay, finally the execution engine will will get the final result from the data nodes, from that machine where the final temporary file is stored. From that one it will receive the results. Fetching the results, that step 8 will be done. Okay, after fetching the result, send the results. Again the execution engine will send back the results to the driver. Finally what the driver will do, driver will send the results to the Hive user interface. That means on the command prompt, whenever we type the query, we will see the output on the command prompt. We will see the output. We have typed the query, we have pressed the enter button, then we will get the results. In the middle, what will happen is, this is the things that will be happen. First, when we write the query on the user interface, the information will pass from that user interface to the driver. Driver will accept that query and that query will be passed to the compiler. Compiler will perform the semantic analysis on that query. If it is okay, okay. Compiler will perform a semantic analysis with the help of the metadata received from has to. If the semantic analysis is over, then compiler will generate the execution plan in the form of DAG. Then that execution plan will be passed back to driver, and from driver that execution plan will go back to the send to the execution engine. Here the execution engine will take the DAG and it will pass that to the corresponding MapReduce task. It will pass either for the mapper component or user component of the Hadoop. It will pass and it will find finally the output will be stored in the temporary file. The final output data will be stored in some temporary file, and the file will be stored in the table location. The temporary file will be stored in the tables location, and then the execution engine will receive the result from the data node where the final temporary file is stored, and that the received final result file will be passed to the driver. The driver will send back the results to the Hive interfaces. This is the total workflow of Hive. What is will happen in the Hive when we write the query on the command prompt? What will happen in the background is this one. Okay, basing on that one, this is briefly the workflow of the Hive. How Hive is going to be operating. Clear, guys? Clear. This is the today's concept of briefly the workflow of the Hive. In the tomorrow class, we will see what are the basic data types in the Hive. Okay, like our SQL where we have the varchar, char, integer, int, float. Okay, similarly here we will see the tomorrow we will see what are the data types that are available in the Hive SQL. From tomorrow class, we will see the data types, see how to write the queries in the Hive. Okay, like our SQL, we will see with the help of this HiveQL. We will learn from the next class. Clear. The architecture of the Hive and workflow of the Hive. Okay, guys. Thank you.